Yo, what's up, everybody? Tuning in to Crypto Street Podcast. As I am Nomad always says about us, we are trying to maybe turn the market around, and I think we're all pretty bearish as we speak. But you're tuning into the Crypto Street Podcast. This is Crypto Dale. What's up? I'm joined always by what's up, Prince and Killer Will. How's it going, fellas?
I'm living. I'm just here. I'm alive. This keeps up, I'm gonna have to try to make myself employable again. So fucking, I'm having a party right now.
That's the Killer. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just everyone. I mean, I think a lot of people were like wrecked, but not so wrecked that they were literally thinking they'd have to change their like career path around. But I think now with this dip, people are really being like, "Oh, I shouldn't have quit my job," or "Oh, yeah, I should start trying to get my job again."
There was a lot of people quitting back at the peak, so that's never a good thing to do. But with that being said, I got some longs open right now. I got I'm long Ethereum at 220 on MEX, so I don't know if we can call this necessarily an extremely bearish episode because I'm thinking things are going to go higher. But yeah, this move has been pretty vicious. It's been a violent move. I went out for dinner, looked at my phone, I was like, "What the hell?" Like I got hit pretty hard on that today because I was like, "All right, I'll start scaling in some longs around 68.50, 69," and then boom, I look at my phone and it's like, "Oh wow, well that got stopped out with some nice slippage and everything." And yeah, it was good. It was good. A nice way to conclude the dinner I was out for, and
What did you have for dinner, Prince?
Oh God, man, some greasy Chinese food is just too much. Just stress poops now. It's just what a party, right?
So I had a long open from like 7,000 that I opened, I want to say like a week or so ago. And I was getting cocky. I'm thinking, okay, we're finally resuming to the bull at least till like 7,800. Yeah. So it's creeping up. I had pretty good leverage on it. It was like 10 or 25 times leverage. I'm feeling confident about it. I'm moving the leverage up. I'm adding a little bit more. And I was convinced we were going to 7,800. And I would look at my BitMEX, and my trade, and I would see that my liquidation was like 6,500. I'd be like, oh, we're well past that. Like I'll have plenty of time to close it if we head back that direction. So during the time that I'm driving home today from work, I get liquidated. Oh, and I'm just like, you fucking kidding me? Like every goddamn time with BitMEX. And it's just like,
oh man, yeah. It should be illegal to short. No more shorting. Only long. This is a long only market.
Should be illegal. I agree. Surprised it's not already.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it sucks because like I wish I didn't even have a long. Like I had closed my longs off around 74. I got hit. Like I did not see it drop in this fast, this hard, this low. That kind of took me by surprise. But it's a fun market. It's more fun if you're on the right side of the trade. Not very fun when you're on the wrong side. But
yeah. It's like, I mean, I am finding some humor in the sadness on Twitter and the sadness on Telegram. So that at least is comforting. Like I was telling you guys before the podcast, I've been shifting between laughing like some kind of weirdo and just mourning.
I've been having a party on Twitter. It's kind of bad like when it gets this shitty out in the market, but it gets pretty fun out there too. It's everything's alive. You get a lot of emotions.
Well, Twitter's best at the extremes, right? The very top is amazing, and the very bottoms it's
entertaining,
amazing. Yeah,
Dale? Entertaining when you're not blocked.
Yeah, telling your story.
Yeah, so I think I am Nomad who's a fan of the show and has kind of chirps at us and keeps us on our toes and whatnot. Said something about in the lines of, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, so it's not going to be exact, but was like, geez, for having street in their name, they aren't really street correct.
Yeah,
there's no street about it. Yeah. So being the jokester that I am, that I think everybody on crypto Twitter kind of knows, I just replied and said, "I'll fucking cut you." I mean, and I got the ban hammer for that. So
Well, you know what? It's the way she goes, I guess, sometimes, right?
I mean, it's absolute bullshit, though. I think we can all agree on that. It's clearly a joke. It's a common phrase that I think comes from a movie, you know, or some kind of show or something. It's like, I mean, anybody, we were talking about this before. Anybody with any kind of sense of pop culture or current news or anything like that would realize it was a joke.
I just want to know who the snitch was who's reporting them.
Yeah, curious
about snitches out here. Can't trust no one.
And I'd comment on the snitches, but I'm afraid I'd get banned again. So I'm just going to shut my mouth. I appealed it. It literally didn't take 2 hours, and they denied it. I appealed it again, and I haven't heard back. And I did it, I think, first thing this morning. So I've got an email of someone at Twitter that someone else passed along. So
I'll be impressed if they actually do reactivate your account.
Well, the longer I'm banned, I've seen some people have messaged me and have said that they were banned for like a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then they just kept appealing after it got denied, and then they kind of just said that I don't know if someone just gets sick of the appeals or what, but you know what's the most discouraging thing about it is, you know, I felt like, you know, we all kind of have our own brands, and we've been working on this brand, you know, like I've been working on Crypto Dale. Granted, it is actually me. This is mostly how I am in real life, is how I talk on tweet. And, you know, you build this brand and show your true personality, and then literally in a matter of moments, it's just all gone. So it's frustrating, but I know it doesn't, you know, Twitter followers don't mean everything.
Well, you're right though, because like when I think I woke up and like heard the news or saw the news or saw people talking about it, and at first I was thinking it was temporary, so I was like, oh, that sucks, you know, but he'll be back in a couple days or something. And then as it became apparent that it was a more permanent type of ban, I was trying to put myself in your shoes and think about how I would feel, and I would just feel like kind of gutted, you know, because like you said, you put some time and effort into this thing, you know, and you want to craft it and have it be entertaining for people. And it is rewarding when you get followers, you get likes, you know, and it's kind of a cool thing. So I think for that to be taken away from a misinterpreted joke is a complete joke.
Am I the asshole here who's gonna say he was laughing when I found out you were
surprising you one fucking bit?
Like I just thought it was hilarious.
Literally, the first like thoughts that went through my head and I told my wife about it, and she's like, "Well, what are the guys gonna say?" I said, "Well, Killer will feel bad and say it sucks," and I go, "Prince will laugh."
Oh, I'm just waiting for my account to get banned. Give me a reason to never go back on Twitter. It's like,
I was gonna say,
it's turning into that.
Well, I think Twitter's kind of like pussified me a little bit. Like before I had more followers, I was more comfortable saying just kind of anything that came to mind. And now there's always like a thought, like, what if this gets interpreted wrong? Or what if somebody takes this and runs a bad direction with it? Or, you know, it's
right. And even like now, since I've, you know, if any Twitter people are listening, I haven't started a new account. I just, if I you know, thinking if I would and tweet something, I've had a lot of things run through my head, and I'm just like, probably shouldn't say that. Or
though you got to stop doing that. If you think about tweeting something, don't dwell on it. You got to just hit tweet.
That's true. I think it is a trap.
For it. Yeah, you just got to go for it.
Part of what people like about you is that sort of firing off the cuff, just kind of like, oh, like, you know, where it's a little bit like, oh, I can't believe you said that, but also like, I've kind of thought that too, you know? And so I think that's what people like, which is a tough trap to not fall into.
All right.
And I will say having just a couple thousand followers has been pretty glorious. It's nice. And this, did you guys see yesterday? I tweeted I was going to short Twitter to the ground. Did you guys see that?
I thought you were. It's a big.
So I tweeted that at 12:54. Okay, and by I'll be God, Twitter dumped at 12:54. And I've got pictures to prove.
You know, you're a market influencer now. You know, you move markets. Yes. What can you say? Some guys are.
I wanted some cheap Bitcoin earlier.
I'm imagining the situation where like hedge fund managers are following Dale on Twitter, and then they see that tweet, and they're like, "Fuck, sell, sell, sell!" Like they're just yelling to the traders, you know, "Get out, Dale's selling."
What a world that would be.
Oh man!
All right, look at us here. I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, so we're around 64.70. This is an bounce, kind of in a pretty intriguing zone again. So I think because we saw those heavy spot buys going in, Mr. Chad Bullwell, who didn't care about any shorters. He was just eating everything up, and that was around the 63 to 64 area. So, and we've kind of, we hit that zone again and popping up a bit here. So we'll see.
So what do you think? Is that the quote unquote bull whale taking profits, this drop, or what do you think?
Oh, fuck. I don't know about that, man. I'm just, I'm just looking at it. We hit a zone, then we kind of were bouncing now in this zone that there was some pretty heavy buying going on recently. So, all I see there is where, there's some support here, right? What was going on? It was Mr. Chad Bullwell's taking profits up there. I don't know, man. Who the hell knows, right? There's all this speculation on a big wallet from the old Mt. Gox days that was getting moved around. Maybe that has something to do with it. Who the hell knows, right? People want to sell, they sell. People want to buy, they buy. But sometimes it can become a little noticeable, like Mr. Chad Bullwell. So we'll see. We'll see what goes down now.
I really think this dip really caught a lot of people. People listening, it's hard to interpret the reasoning behind it. And I was talking with Ledger Status, who's one of my personal favorite traders. And, really when he talks about, TA, technical stuff like that, I really listen. And he kind of said that he thought, all the technical was to the mid sixes, and then the market just got going and just did, typical dumb market shit to 6,200. So, even the people that you deem as, very talented at TA sometimes don't have an answer for things. So it's frustrating.
You just try to be on the right side of the move, right? And, I guess sometimes you're not going to be, and sometimes you need more clarification. Like I wouldn't say go bottom picking or anything, but let's see what it does here now. This was a zone where there was a lot of action going on just, a few weeks ago, or not even a few weeks ago, just not long ago at all. So, this is how we react here is going to be pretty important to me. It's every time we talk, we're in an important zone, but every zone is important in its own right to me. So, let's see how we do here.
Somebody asked in the live chat earlier, do you think this is the start of capitulation?
Could be. If we break down from here, there's a good, I'd say there's a high probability.
Right? I mean,
right? As long as we're in this zone, I'm not going to say it is, because there's no, we're still in the zone. And to me, there's a good amount of support here, and it's been shown so far. So how we react from here, it's going to be interesting. We'll see. If we do break down from here, then, I start to get a little nervous again. It's like, okay, what the hell is going to happen now, right? So
I think if you're looking at the chart, you want to keep an eye out for capitulation type behavior below 5,800 or so, because that's where the previous local-ish lows have been. Yeah. So if we go lower than that, we're probably going quite a bit lower, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you guys elaborate on what that would look like in case someone doesn't understand out there?
Yeah, so capitulation is basically the event at the conclusion of a bear market where it gets low enough and severe enough on enough volume that almost everybody who's been holding at that point just goes, screw it, I'm out, I'm losing too much money, I don't give a shit if this is the low, if I'm selling to the bottom, I don't care, I'm out, I'm going to cash, I'm going to T-bills, whatever, So
I honestly feel like we've already had a lot of that going on. There's a lot. Yeah, and it's been going on for a bit now. Like you look at alts. Alts have been just an absolute death spiral, right? It's a different story compared to Bitcoin, but so like to me, when we talk about capitulation, it's been going on now for a little bit. So there's already been a lot of money that's run out of the market. How that's going to translate, Bitcoin, bigger market, takes longer for things to play out compared to some of these, the smaller alts. Who knows, right? Maybe Bitcoin does go lower. I think Peter Brandt's calling for us to go lower, but Peter's always got something to say, so whatever. Everyone's got an opinion right now, right? And to be fair, on this dump, we're making kind of consecutive lower highs off of our little rallies that we try to do. So, there's valid reasons to be pretty bearish, So we just see, right?
And you see, like, I know people talk on Twitter about how annoying it is when people flip the switch from going from really bearish to really bullish. But, we were talking, us three, earlier this morning or this afternoon about how the bear market, it sucks. I mean, it's hard. It's frustrating, especially coming off that bull run that we had, or mini run there, or whatever the case may be. But it's tough. I mean, it's pretty stressful on everybody. And I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going with that, but
I've been there, man.
I mean, it's just, it sucks. And everyone, I think, now I know, everyone is so ready for this, quote unquote alt season and another bull run that, the slightest 2-3% people are just grasping at things to be bullish. So
yeah. It is like when we really, that whole capitulation topic, you look at some of those altcoin charts and they are just disgusting.
I mean,
you can't look at those charts and say, like the whole thing is just big capitulation, right? It's just, there's nothing, they just keep dying. And so it's tough, right? And there's any little thing, people are just looking for hope now, because it's just like, it's kind of been this thing of, well, this can't keep going lower, can it? And it's like, well, this is crypto. These are altcoins. They can go a lot lower.
Part of me wants to say that alts have capitulated, but some of them are still way overvalued for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's tough to put looking at some of the valuations and saying they aren't overvalued still. To me, it's tough to, say that. There's a lot of shit out there that is still ridiculously overvalued. And that kind of sucks to say at times, because then you're like, "Oh fuck, we've already been getting hit this hard."
What if some of the bags that I have are overvalued and I'm just blinded by it?
Exactly. Never. Right.
Not our bags.
It's and a lot of people saying, which I deep down inside, I do completely agree with that. 98 to 99% of these altcoins won't be around, and when I sit and dwell on it, when I'm, thinking about it, it's really scary, because I can't help but think, oh shit, what if my bags are part of those? Because if you figure there's 1,500 altcoins out there, just thinking off the top of my head, that means 15 of them are going to survive, basically.
There's a reason why, Bitcoin is the king, right? And to me, it kind of, people, that classical term, you trade altcoins to make more Bitcoin. I think a lot of people didn't really understand that, maybe just wanted to look at that comment as like, well, that's dumb, look at this coin is the future, it's going to be the next big thing. Sure, it might be, but when it comes to these coins, like, the retraces on them, like, it can be absolutely insane. And just like the pumps can be insane, but the retraces can be a hell of a lot more painful, and they last, and it sucks. So that's where it comes in. Bitcoin hasn't been hit as hard as these altcoins have. So
yeah,
I was gonna say that this drop obviously sucks, but that's part of what you sign up for when you invest in crypto, because in investing, risk and return are inherently intertwined. If you want a better return, you have to take on more risk, period. Yeah. And this is one of the things you have to deal with. If you're investing in an asset class that can go up 200 times in a year, which a lot of this shit can, then you're going to have periods where you lose 99.5% over 4 months in a coin. And it's just kind of the nature of the beast.
It sucks, but it's kind of the reality of it.
There's no investment on earth where you have the potential to get rich overnight, which you literally do with crypto. And that's also not going to make you lose sleep at night. So I think it sucks, yes, but it's absolutely part of the ball game.
Yeah. It goes with, like you said, to pack onto that a little bit, it goes with the territory of, with greater reward comes greater risk. If you want to, strike it big overnight, have that chance, and, hear me out, that's low, but there is still that possibility. And I think I can't remember which one you said it when we were chatting earlier, but you know, it's hard once you've experienced a good pump. It's hard to feel that.
It's the returns, right? It's hard once you start experiencing those returns. You get addicted to it, right? And then you have this like you're like a junkie, right? It's like I need these returns. I need to get some of that again. Yeah, and then you're not getting it. It's tough,
and
right?
it's hard to, you know, you can invest in stocks and you know everything, all those other markets, but it's hard to experience the returns that you've had in crypto.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, that's I think someone once said it from the traditional markets. I can't remember who, but it's like, you know, I feel bad for anybody who is really getting their feet wet in crypto, because the type of returns that you're making here is just going to ruin every other market to you, because you won't see that kind of stuff elsewhere, really, right? So
true.
And it is true, yeah. It is 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really do get spoiled. Normal markets are quite boring afterwards. I think one of the aspects of normal markets that people from crypto are flocking to is weed stocks and penny stocks. And that stuff has been kind of a replacement because those are doing very well.
Oh, Chris, I've been looking at some of these weed stocks. They've just been insane the last month. You know, minimum like 100%, 200%. It's like, God, I'm looking at this. Like, what the hell am I doing trading crypto right now? I should be trading weed stocks.
Yeah. Something we talked about too that I want to touch a little bit more on during the podcast is I wonder what effect this will have on traders who have called this bear market very, very well, and what effect that'll have on them and their confidence, because confidence is kind of your enemy in trading. You want to always be questioning, I think. So I think, you know, there are certain people we can all name who call the bear market really well, but that's hard to continue.
It's tough, and I find, you know, I notice it with myself sometimes, is you can be kind of, you know, as much as you as a trader, you're like, well, you know, be like water. You have no biases. Naturally, when you start being able to call certain directions really well, your bias is going to, you know, subconsciously just kind of lean that way, right? So how, you know, and that's just a fact of the matter, right? You know, some guys can battle that, you know, but you have to be very disciplined and very aware, which, let's face it, a lot of people, I think personal awareness, self-awareness, that's a tough thing, right? And so, like, you know, like I know I prefer a bull market, and it's because I have, you know, that bias is in me. And as much as, you know, it's like I realize that, so it's like, okay, I got to kind of try to watch this a bit. But that is a thing, you know, I'll miss good short opportunities because I have this lingering bias. And then, you know, I'll take more risks, say trying to go long, because I have this lingering bias. And the same, you know, goes for guys who are really good at going short. Now in this market, it's been a shorter's paradise, right? So it's serving them really well. But, you know, say 6 months ago, that bias kind of leaning thing was serving me really well. So it's just a thing, you know, you got to be aware of it. And I know I'm trying to work on it all the time anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I find shorting way more difficult because naturally, I think my personality is more like the eternal optimist, you know, like, oh, it'll all work out. You know,
it's a mindset thing. Yeah, 100%.
Which
you
I
know,
think
it's... Go ahead, Kelly.
I was gonna say, I think that's kind of a good thing in life, but it can be tough in trading.
It is. Yeah. It's that whole, you know, because, you know, ultimately, and I think this is why there's a lot of, you know, the algorithmic trading, stuff like that, you know, it helps remove that bias. And so it's, you know, that's a pretty big positive to me in that sense, right? But yeah, fighting the bias, it's tough.
I'm gonna definitely get crucified for saying this, but whenever I've had a short in, like, see, I like one of my biggest fears is missing a pump. Like, to this day, like, I want to try and catch every single pump. I know I don't try to anymore, but so when I am short on corn, something about me is just at peace. I don't know what it is, because I think it's like, I think my rationale is, okay, if it goes down, you know, I'm hedged, so I can be okay with it going down. But then if I'm not short and it goes down like tonight, I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, throwing my computer across the room, you know? I mean, so it's just weird. But I'm like you guys, eternally optimistic. Let's ride.
That's very interesting. You say that about the comforted feeling while shorting, because I feel I know exactly what you're talking about, and like it's tough because I'm fighting my intuitions, but I think that's a good thing in trading. So that's kind of comforting too, that you're going
Yeah.
against what your body like is like urging you to do normally.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah, for
50
sure.
times YOLO long, you know.
Which is I'm pretty good at 50x YOLO long. There for a long time too. I was talking with Prince about this. I was, kind of putting all TA aside. I just wanted to see how I could do with just trusting my gut. And I would, like there was one night I woke up at 2 in the morning and I thought I need a long corn right now. And so I logged on and did it. And then I woke up and I was up, and then I thought, okay, I better close. Like I didn't even look at any charts, and I just followed my gut for probably a good week and a half, and I had doubled my balance on Mex. And then like
You're an
the
animal.
like the dumb shit I am, I was just like, well, I think it's gonna go long. And my original thought to myself was, okay, you're only doing this, and this goes back to me wanting, not to miss pumps. I saw a couple of people that I trust say, telling me, hey, we're long corn here, blah blah blah. So I was just looking into it, and I was just like, my first thought was I should just sit this one out because I don't have a feeling. And I talked myself into doing it, and I got liquidated.
Being able to recognize that, like just being able to say, okay, I'm just gonna chill out. I'm not gonna take the trade. It's tough in its own too, right? Like I know I chat with some guys, and it is. It's the toughest thing you can do because you always, you feel like you should be doing something to be trying to make some money. You don't need to be all the time, right? And if anything, I find, myself, it's like just chill out. Sometimes you take a couple of losers in a row instead of trying to revenge trade or something. Just take 2 days off, take 3 days off.
Yep.
Don't even look at the charts. Just go chill out, refresh your mindset, come back to it, fresh, open, and new approach, in a sense, right? And it makes a huge difference.
That's very interesting what you were talking about, Dale, with just going with your gut and how that worked. Because I definitely think I overthink trades at this point too. Like it's almost like information overload, and I can't sift through it all and make a good decision.
Yep. You remember when I did that, Prince?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I really feel like I was a better trader when I very first started. And granted, it was probably easier back then, just inherently because there was less competition a couple of years ago. But I also didn't have as much noise in my life. Now it's all noise. It's you log on to Twitter, it's you see this comment, that comment, every comment through your notifications, and you don't apply the weight of that comment fully. You don't see a random comment from some random follower and be like, oh, I should do that. But it sticks in your head a little bit. It's part of the psyche, and you remember all those little things when you're going to make a trade later. And
I think honestly, like Twitter can be one of the worst things.
Yes. Yeah.
It is. It's the noise, right? It's the noise. You gotta just cancel out the noise because there's a lot of shitty opinions on there. So you gotta be careful
and trust, like. Yeah, and we understand, if people are, the thing I don't want people to start thinking about us is that we, we can say all this because we've got 100,000 Bitcoin or, whatever the case may be. But I want everyone to realize how hard it is for us to even turn off the noise.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, it's a daily struggle, to
that's straight up just trade.
Yeah. Someone asked in the comments, what's our worst wreck stories? Mine is probably not anything to do with Bitcoin, but with AirSwap. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna, I still like what they're doing. Love Crypto Bobby. I'm not gonna talk, and I like Oved, everything. I just straight up bought the top. And
my worst wreck story was when I was first getting into trading. It was like I just got out of high school, and I had just gotten my wisdom teeth pulled, and so I couldn't.
This isn't good.
I couldn't do anything, right? It's like I was sitting around. I couldn't work. I couldn't do nothing. So all right, well, let's figure out this market stuff. Let's get into stocks. Fuck it. I just watched Wolf of Wall Street. How hard can this be, right?
Guy's a cokehead and make billions.
Yeah, look at this guy. He's a fucking millionaire. This is awesome. Young and stupid and all that, and immature. But anyway, so start, researching it, studying it, kind of doing all that stuff, and decide, okay, I need to get some money in here, but I just graduated. What fucking money do I have, right? I don't have money. So I decided, you know what? I just got some of my education money for school. I'm going to just throw that into the market. So, and at the time, this was, more money than I had ever seen at that age. And it was like, all right, this is pretty cool. I'm going to flip this into a lot of money, and I'm going to be balling out, and going to be driving a new Porsche, whatever. And I decided to start playing penny stocks. Biotech penny stocks, just pieces of shit, pretty much. And I remember, just complete noobness. Just I ended up blowing up my account, probably, and I had doubled it, and actually a bit more within like a month and all this. And so that's the classic: get your ego up, you start thinking your shit, right? And then you're in school and you're fucking G, right? You're making money, and then boom, it's all gone, and it's like, oh fuck, okay, like kind of need this to go to school and all this, but so yeah, that was probably my worst one, and it was really just off of one play too. And the one play, I just refused to fucking accept that I was an idiot on it, and ended up having to learn it pretty pricey lesson there.
I mean, I would say my greatest wreck story is just this overall past 8 months. Like, I made a hell of a lot more money than I ever thought I would have, and I lost a hell of a lot more money than I ever thought I would lose too. I mean, we were talking about cutting, bags earlier that we think may go away with time. And there have been so many times over the past 4 to 5 months where I open my portfolio, I take a look, I run down the list of alts I have, and I think that one, maybe I don't know if it'll be here in 2 years. And it's kind of like if anybody watched Hard Knocks, where they follow an NFL team through training camp and they document all the guys who are trying to just make the team and the guys who get cut at the end. They just cut everybody yesterday, basically on Hard Knocks. And it's sort of like me looking at my bags where I'm like, oh, I really like you, and I know some people like that like you as well, and I don't want to cut you, but I really should. And I never made that decision to actually do it, which I should have.
Guys, stop talking shit about Busch Light. Not in the mood.
Not in the mood.
I saw another question that I forgot to comment on it. Shout out, Dumb, you're watching. Thanks for if you're still on. Someone said something earlier. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. So as you guys saw on Twitter, we are starting the first annual Crypto Street Podcast Fantasy Football League. So how we did it was we have 3 different leagues. Each one of us is in a league with with a bigger Twitter celeb. Like in my league, it's Ledger, Status, Prince. I think Bitcoin Dad is in yours, and then Killer Nitacoin I think is in yours, right, guys?
Yeah.
So we did yeah, okay.
Pretty simple.
We did the draft on Monday night, and how it works is each champion of the league is going to play each other for the last 2 weeks of the season, and the total points is gonna take the boat. So I just want to say we had the online draft, and we had 75 entries, and we randomly selected 25 or 30 of them to get in. And hopefully next year it can be bigger, and we can even do a 4th league or something, because the draft we all got on Discord and just was kind of shooting the breeze while we drafted, because we all leagues drafted at the same time, and that was a shit ton of fun. I had a blast talking with people. Although in the 6th round, for you people that are in fantasy football, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, and in the 6th round I was 2 picks away from me, and I was like, oh, I got to remember to snag Trey Burton later in the draft. And I was scrolling, finding him, and I just find him, and I go to click the Q, because on ESPN you can Q players, so you can remember about them later. And I hit Q, and then I see at the top green says you have drafted Trey Burton. I'm like, whoa, what in the fuck is this? So that's my only PTSD story of the draft. Otherwise, my team's okay. The more I look at it, the more I don't necessarily think I like it, but
That Discord was so fun, dude. Oh my god,
it was a blast.
I caught so much shit. So I took Alvin Kamara with the 4th pick, which was roundly criticized and mocked. However, everybody, it's a PPR league. You get points per reception. Alvin Kamara as a running back had 80 catches last year. 80. Okay, he's gonna do great. It's perfectly great pick at number 4. He's going on average like number 6. Oh well, I reached 2 spots. Like,
I don't know anything about the NFL, but I do know I picked a damn good team. I'm probably going to be up contending for that top spot, so look out.
You know what, Killer, though? A lot of fantasy, like, experts say or whatever is, are you really reaching for him if it's someone you really want?
No.
If you really think he's going to have a good year, then he's going to have a good year. And like Crypto at Nights, he's in the league, and like he just said, better pick than Le'Veon Bell. I mean, shit, I saw someone said he might not be back till November.
Yeah, week 10 I'm hearing. That's hilarious.
I know, it's insane. We were talking about that holdout a little bit earlier. On one hand, I don't like it. On the other hand, he's trying to get paid. I don't know.
I understand it. It's a business, and those guys, they're just athletes, they're like pieces of meat to these teams, right? It's just how much money can they bring them. So these guys, they got to look after themselves. And as much as sometimes it sucks how they play it with the contract negotiations, to me, I understand it, and like I respect it. And it's like, you do what you got to do for yourself first, because usually these teams, when it's all said and done and you're not playing anymore, they don't really care that much about you. You know what I mean? You're done.
And I was, when we were talking about this in the fantasy group earlier, I was strongly opposed to him sitting out, because I thought, okay, you know what, he's gonna make 14 million. And then the more that I sat and thought about it, running backs' careers are the shortest out of any position. He's trying to do essentially what we're all trying to do, and set, he's worked his ass off. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is very talented. He deserves every penny.
He can get paid now. And
he deserves every penny he get, and he's trying to make sure that his grandkids' kids are set up for life. And you can't fault the guy for that, because that's essentially what every one of us is trying to do.
It is nothing more than a business, and these guys realize that, and they're gonna get paid, and they're gonna make sure they're taken care of, because if they don't make sure of that, these teams, they will take advantage. So
I thought
like you said, it's a business.
It is.
Yeah, and his teammates are actually speaking out against him today. A few of his offensive linemen are like, "Hey, this guy's being selfish." Like,
of course, guys are going to do that, right? You're always going to have an opinion, but at the end of the day, it is a business. You can't sugarcoat it. The amount of stories I've heard of guys, who aren't the stars, so they can't do what, say, he's doing, and they just get treated like crap. They are just a piece of meat to these teams. That's it. They're just, they're just a potential to bring some more money in, and as soon as they are no good for them, the teams don't want anything to do with them. They're done. It's like, get out of here. And so, you got to take care of yourself, number one, right?
Yeah, it's very cutthroat from the owner side, so it should be from the players too, or you can expect it to be from the players as well.
Has to be.
Yeah, and I think a lot can be said for that with crypto too. You gotta, end of the day, you gotta worry about yourself, and you gotta, one thing I think that maybe gets a little overlooked is taking care of yourself here. With markets being open 24/7, 365, oftentimes I even check myself if I get up to pee overnight, or my son wakes up, I'll just quick pull open my phone and look at the chart quick. And ever since I've really have tried to stop myself from doing that, because now it's more so of maybe not me saying to myself, okay, Dale, you need to stop doing that. It's more of, well, why the hell am I going to check it? It's just down anyways, So I think you need to really, to be on your A game, you need to have a clear head, and the best way is get some sleep, work out, take care of yourself. That's the best advice I probably can get. And I don't know if I'm just sappy because I'm still butthurt about my Twitter, but
it's all right, man. It'll get better.
Yeah.
So where are we headed with these markets, boys?
Oh fuck, man. I'm not saying I don't know. I'm just fucking living it moment by moment. We'll see.
So, I mean, most of the past like few months, I've been trying to convince myself we've bottomed and we're going higher. But I feel like there has always been a piece of me inside that's like, oh, you're full of shit. You know, we're going down further. And I never really wanted to believe that side. And now I kind of do want to, because I think that's probably where we're going. And now that I've said that, I'm sure we'll bounce like crazy and go to 50K. But I think we're going lower. I don't want to. I'm long right now, which is very odd. But yeah, I think we probably are.
You know, I it's just so frustrating and for me, because I thought just when, and this is exactly what, you know, trading is all about. Just when I thought, okay, you know, everything to me, everything I see makes sense to 7,800, that will at least get there. And then this happens. So I'm agree with Prince. I don't know. I'm so
just stay in the moment. We'll see what happens. You know, no big bold predictions. Price goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, it goes down. And we just try to make sure we're adjusted accordingly.
So Mr. Mendoza here asked if any particular Twitter accounts we like for charts. TA. You know, I agree with you.
I don't even look at, you know, there's a lot of these accounts I find like, to me, that, you know, there's some accounts that are really good, right? Like I think Creed, whatever. How you pronounce it,
he's Cred, that's what I was gonna say.
I think he's one that does put out a lot of content, a lot. You know, there's a lot of really smart, good traders who just, you know, they don't put out charts anymore. I think they just they couldn't me. They couldn't care less, right? And so I think Cred is one of those guys. He puts out a lot of good content. God, I don't know if there's. To me, I don't like. You know, I don't really look for charts on Twitter, though. That's not like my thing, right? So for me, I'm not out searching for it. So I guess tough for me to give a good answer.
I would say I don't know whether you guys pronounce it cash or cachet, but
cash is good. Yeah,
I always said cachet. I don't know if that's it, but I'm gonna say he's been very good. He's called this bear run very accurately all the way down. So he's
another one that I like is I think is pronounced Haska. It's got like a wolf pick.
Oh yeah,
he's really good.
I just started following him recently. He's good. He's smart.
Yeah, he knows his shit, so he's good. Coin signals, he's pretty good.
I'd mirror everyone you guys said. Add ledger status. And like to piggyback on what Prince said, I don't look for necessarily charts from these guys. I pretty much do my own stuff. However, I do look at some of their ideas and thought processes. So if I'm looking at Ledger talking about, I'm trying to think one he's taught. I don't even know what he's talked about lately, but you know, I'll look at it and then, you know, dissect it and think, you know, why is he thinking that? Or I also like to go and check out like their YouTube channels and see what, you know, get all the educational stuff. Luke Martin, Venture Coinist, is pretty good at it too. So not only that, and he's dreamy. If sometimes he's in the shadows in here and listening and doesn't even say anything. So Luke, if you're here, give us a quick shout out so we know you're listening. Yeah. Brandon Hall says CNBC has some pretty accurate charts.
I love their garbage, like clearly aimed at millennials Coinbase charts where it's just like an emoji and an arrow, you know, it's like zero technical analysis. Just like, hey, look at us. We're charting.
All right.
I think I saw someone tweet. Yeah. You guys want to do bullish bearish?
Bullish bearish on ETH.
Yeah, somebody asked in the comments about bullish bearish on ETH. I was actually meaning to bring this up before the end of the podcast, so this will be a good thing to touch on. Let me just quickly recap it. ETH's high was around 1,200 at the peak. It is now down to, I believe, around 230. What do you guys think we do from here?
Well, it's gotten fucking destroyed like the last month. Absolutely just crushed. So do I think it is due for a pretty nice fucking bounce? Yes, I do. But does that mean we'll get it? We will see. You know, I'm currently long, right? Like I got a long in at 220 on the swap. Who the hell knows how long that'll last? But I think we're seeing one of these the situation of now there's a bunch of ICOs, raised a lot of money at the time, and they decided, hey, let's just start speculating with all this money we raised, and all of a sudden, the money they raised is worth fractions of what it was once, and now they are panicking and selling it all to try and just lock up some money. So, if that continues on, well, hey, we could be in for some more fucking selling pressure. But when something gets beat down this hard consecutively, you think, okay, there's going to be a bounce at some point. So it's just trying to figure out when that'll be and maybe trying to ride it a little bit, right? Today it's gotten absolutely crushed. So I'm thinking, maybe we can get a little pop up higher, maybe to 250 or so, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I deal with a lot of like grain commodity markets and stuff on my in real life job or day-to-day stuff. But so I've always felt that markets have, there's a psychology with these markets. And prime example is $4 corn. That's every single farmer I talk to says if corn can get to $4, I'm going to sell everything I have. Well, what I always tell my customers is, why $4? That's everybody's number. So why not, sell at like 395 or 397 in that range leading up to the 4, so you can capture it all. So that's kind of how I feel with Ethereum. Everyone is really the general sentiment, and on Ethereum on Twitter right now is under $200 or double digits. So I think we're going to get maybe close to the 200 flat. And I'm sorry, Prince, I hope that doesn't liquidate you. But I just think we're going to get low. We're going to see a little lower here. Yeah, I think some ICOs have, like you had said, they're scared. I think maybe
today
in survival
we got to
mode.
About 206 on the swap low. So yeah, we're getting down there.
I haven't even been paying attention. So
yeah, it's it's getting down there. But yeah, don't worry about me. I won't be liquidated. It's a 2x leverage position.
Yeah, daddy.
Prince, he have 2 to 5 times leverage. Yeah, he never gets liquidated. Smart.
Yeah, good point. I don't have killer and I 50x and I'm just going ham.
Slippage.
We don't feel any emotions below 10 times, Dale.
yeah, exactly.
25 and 50 or else it does nothing for us.
You guys are animals.
But see, that's why it's not my MEX, percentage allotment is not that much, because I know that. I know I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a crazy lunatic. But so no, real quick, this bearish bullish was brought to you by cryptostreetstore.com. So head on over, buy some stuff if you like us and check it out. So what do you guys want to do next? What coin?
I just want to say quick, I think you guys are spot on Ethereum. The chart is hideous.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I left.
No, that's okay. You guys literally said like almost everything I was going to anyway, but I just wanted to agree.
Yay. Right?
In terms of the next coin,
I
feel like it's all bearish. I mean,
everything is correlated right now, so
we can throw a dart. It's bearish.
One thing I'm watching, that's the only green on the top 100. Sit down. It's Tether. So actually, Bitcoin Diamond is up 113%, folks.
Bitcoin Diamond.
Yeah, God. Tether and Bitcoin Diamond are literally. So, otherwise, the top 100, there's maybe five that aren't down double digits. So, overall, it's really fucking neat.
I thought you were going to say ETC for a second there. I was about to be very triggered.
Even if ETC was up, I wouldn't say so, because we're all in a fragile mental state tonight. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Today yesterday, I'm sorry, at 2:30 UTC time, whatever the fuck that is. Bitcoin Diamond was $1.33. And at its peak, it was which is today at 3:19 UTC, was just shy of $4. So
is that like Varen Crew and Jihan buying that bullshit, or I don't know like who that would be.
I don't even know what the hell it is. Diamond?
What's the point of any altcoin? To make more Bitcoin.
That's right. That's exactly right. Like you said too earlier, I think that, for the longest time when I first started, I was just like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I want to make USD. But now, the longer I get into it, I'm just like, I'm here to get more Bitcoin and steal everybody's coin. So
You know what? I still kind of hate when I hear that, to be honest. I don't know. I just want dollars, like, because I know that that's not going away anytime soon. Sorry, decentralized maximalists, but yeah, I don't know.
see, to me though, like, I would agree with you to an extent, because that's why I want more Bitcoin, because it's, the king of all, and it's probably there's no probably, it is the most, it's the best. Like, it's the gold standard of crypto. So that's why I want it, which
yeah,
in turn would lead me to selling Bitcoin for dollars. So
true. I see that.
all right, anything else, or are we gonna wrap this up?
I think we're set. That was fun, fellas. This is the first one we've done, just the three of us, in a little bit. It was a good time.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks everyone for listening. We've held pretty consistent of the number of people that have been watching this. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We can't say this enough. We are approaching episode 100. We're so grateful for all of your support. I would say, I think speak for all three of us when I say that we're blown away by the support that we've gotten from the community. We hope you guys like everything we put out. So stay tuned for this 100th episode. We've got some pretty cool stuff planned. We've got some pretty cool guests lined up. I was looking at the calendar, and we're pretty jam packed for the month of September. We've got a lot of people that we think you'll like. So make sure you tune in, smash that subscribe button, that like button for us. Yeah, stay safe. Let's all just do our thing, right? Am I right?
Alive.
Stay alive. In bear market, 100%. You protect your capital for the bull market. So tip that waitress. Be nice to everybody. Quit reporting people. They don't do anything wrong unless they actually mean it. Then report their ass.
No snitches.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Be safe. Peace out, everyone.